There we go.
There was someone here that was at a coffee shop.
Um,
Camilla.
Still here.
That was
Carmela, she's
Carmela.
still there. You still there, Carmela? She was on phone too.
Yep.
Let me see.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Carmela. That you?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
It's just a little loud here, so.
Yes, got it. Okay, who is this? Empress Shanique, is that her?
Probably. You know, everybody got all these different names. I'm like, she got like 4 names on her thing. I was like, who are you?
Who are you? Well, you know, people say the same thing about me. What should I call you? Moot, Shemsu-t, Rita, Miss Stewart, Mama Moot? Whatever works in the moment, okay? Is that you, Dominique?
Yes, that's Dominique. Yay. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. She missed all the drama.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. I want to share my screen.
Oh, there's Marlene.
Yeah, I got kicked out because we was talking about booties. Good thing she wasn't recording.
Oh my goodness. Why were you talking about that? I'm recording.
That's a discussion for when we get through with class.
Okay, can you see this slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. So today we are talking about being a deaf doula. And before we get started, what I would like to do is just breathe a minute, you know, because breath is going to be our foundation for everything that we do. Everything. It's our foundation for life, right? So you all received the video where Yashir Rahatep was teaching us the correct way to breathe. The only difference in our process is that we inhale and exhale through the nose so that we keep all of our chi, all of our energy in our body, and it's quiet. Okay. So the first thing you do, we're going to exhale. And now inhale through your nose. And your belly should come out. And then you're going to exhale through your nose, pushing in to release any toxins from your organs. Breathe in slowly, deeply. And hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose. Pushing in gently. Breathe in. And hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly. Now feel your body completely surrendering to that relaxation, completely letting go. Breathe in. And hold it. Pull your shoulders down. Exhale, pushing in. Pushing, releasing. Breathe in. This is our last one. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. And now I just want you to actually do a scan of your body. We're just going to start at our feet and just check and see if there's any tension any place, and you're just going to release it. Take your breath into that place where there's any tension, letting it go. Use your breath as your source of connection and release. And now I want you to imagine that you have energy coming up from your feet. And that energy is relaxing you as it goes into your ankles and up your legs. You're allowing the earth to come through you, up through your knees, your thighs, your pelvic, Your abdomen, allowing relaxation to go through your entire body, your arms, your hands, your chest, relaxing. Allow your neck to relax, your head, your forehead, your jaws are relaxed. Allow your tongue to lay in the bottom of your mouth, your scalp, your forehead, even behind your ears, relaxing, letting go. Now we've reached the crown chakra, the top of your head. Imagine that a white light is pouring in through you. And we're going to allow this white light to pour into us, coming into our crown chakra in our head, and it's flowing down into our face, illuminating our cells, our blood cells, our blood vessels, our veins, our tendons. All of that white light is coming in to our neck, into our shoulders, energizing us, refueling us into our arms, hands, going down into our chest, moving through any obstacles in the way. That white light is really emerging a strong sense of well-being down into our abdomen, our pelvic, into our legs, all the way down through our ankles into our feet. That energy is now connected to the earth. We have both the earth and the heavens stored within us. This is the foundation of our work, being truly connected all the way. Just relax in that energy for just a minute. Allow yourself to feel the security, the safety of this space. This is your workplace. Relaxing. Relax. And now, I'm going to ask you to come back to this side of consciousness. Allow yourself to be present to the room. Rub yourself, rub your knees, rub your hands, whatever you need to do to come back to the conversation. Let's do that. Let's get back into the work. Are you ready? Okay, our agenda today. We've already gone through a welcome. We've did our breathing to center. We've even had enough time to connect and bond with each other, right? Well, now we're gonna go into the ground rules, and then we're gonna ask a question: why be a deaf doula? We're also gonna look at the buddy system, listen to some of your personal stories, and then we'll go into our self-love task, which is the work that you would do outside of class, okay? So now the ground rules. Number one, this is a safe space. All are welcome to openly share in this course. Please keep what is said by others confidential and do your best to breathe through your triggers. And there will be a lot of triggers. We've already had a great one today, right? And then if you have an issue with this class or with anyone, talk with me about it, okay? We want to keep gossip at a nil, nothing, zilch, whatever, zero. Also, do not share this curriculum outside of this course. However, at some point, I know that all of you will be teaching this course, but not today. Now, we're going to open the floor because I want all of you to say, why be a deaf doula, right? Why do you want to be a deaf doula? But I also want you to say your name, your occupation, where you live, and then answer that question. Why do you want to be a deaf doula? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can answer Carmela's question. Carmela?
So I was just gonna ask if you could, like you were sharing your screen, but I could hardly see the slide.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have to see the, oh, you talking about when I was sharing it, you didn't see it?
I mean, I saw them, but they were really small. If you could, like, you were in presenter mode,
Yeah.
where we can see everything. But if you just, I forget, it's somewhere at the top. If you just click it so that we could just see that particular slide.
Oh, well, I wonder what you're saying, because that's all I see is the presenter, is the slide.
Okay.
So go back in for a second.
Okay,
Into
hold
the
on.
slide.
Hold on.
Okay. Because I think maybe you're not in full screen or something,
It's
maybe.
not, yeah, it's not in full screen.
Okay, hold on. Let
I
me.
see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's better.
There you go.
Yeah,
it
now
was
you're
in
in
a
full
small
screen.
corner.
Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So now let me unshare again. And let's ask our question. Did it stop yet? There it is. Okay. Who's going to go first? Carmela, are you on mic? You might as well go first. Did you go?
Okay. I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Say your name, your occupation, where you live, and then answer the question, why be a deaf doula?
So, okay, let me put my camera back on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like down trying to get coffee and stuff.
That's okay. Are you working today?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
So my name is Carmela. I am, somebody's at my doorbell now. My name is Carmela. I am from Chicago. I currently live in Baltimore. I am the senior executive assistant for the chief strategy officer at Under Armour, which is headquartered in Baltimore. And I think the question was why I want to become a deaf doula. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I want to be like, I have friends and family that, we all experience death, but a lot of times when I have friends and family that kind of experience it, I really don't know what to say. I know more of how to be there in a supportive way. Just like helping them, get things done, making sure, that the plans are correct and, things of that sort. But I want to also be able to help them to release, that person and allow them to go, peacefully without them having, any regrets or anything, or, the sadness that comes over you when there is death. Because at the end of the day, death, that just means that they're going home, and it's a time to celebrate, not necessarily to mourn that person, because, they're at peace now. There is no more pain, there's no more suffering. It's just peace for them. And because they're experienced that peace, I want other people to experience that too. So I just want to, be able to help them to experience that. Because I tell my kids all the time that I don't want them to be sad because, I lived a good life and I want them to celebrate my death. I don't want anybody showing up at my funeral in black. I don't want you to mourn. I want you to celebrate. I want you to be happy. Like, I knew you, we knew each other, we were friends, we were family, whatever it was. I want you to be happy that, you know, in my death. I don't want you to be sad. I want everybody to be happy. And so that's what I try to do, you know, for my friends and family, you know, when they experience that. It's just that sometimes I just don't know, like, the words to say to them, because I just feel like the words just, if you don't say the right thing and they're really suffering, you know, really sad about it, then it could hurt. And I don't want to hurt anyone, because this is, you know, this is that moment where they're, you know, really in pain. I want to, you know, make them feel like it's okay to let go and be happy that they're going to be in a, you know, in a different place and they're not suffering anymore.
No, that's wonderful. And we will be working through some of that. So that's good. That's wonderful. Thank you. Who's next? Marlene, are you next?
I'm gonna go next because I may have to.
Who is that? Shay Shay? Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah.
My name is Shalonda. I am. I work for Ford, and I will be retiring soon. Years I have left. But at any rate, in this capacity, I am also the chaplain here, and we also provide emotional support to employees that's going through different emotional grievances, I guess, and that being one of them. So I just feel like this is the next step in getting some professional teachings and being able to help. Even though being a coach, that has transformed my life, and I'm sure it's transformed everyone else's life in order, in that aspect of how to speak to other people, how to be a caregiver, and how to provide emotional support. Although we don't save anybody, we just be there as someone who they can talk to, and we can listen and be that type of support, and even offer in a coaching situation our support to them. As far as being why I want to take this class, that's a part of it. But I mean, even now with COVID and all these other things that's going on right now, and death being so prevalent, it's good that there's a group of us that know how to stand in the gap of some of these people, to be able to first help them not get to that point by teaching them about life and breathing and eating and exercising and all the things that we are accountable for as coaches. But once that transition happens, to be able to now support the families, their friends and loved ones, to, you know, allow for that same transformation that's still here living. So I feel that this will be a great help for that.
Wonderful. And Shalonda, if you have to leave, let me get a number. Pick from one between 1 and 7.
1.
You said 1?
1.
Ace, that ace, yes. All right, very cool. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for making time for us.
No, I have to be here.
No, right?
Our journey.
We in the tribe. That's our tribe. That's right. All right, Dr. Fang, come on.
Okay, ladies. Well, my name is Reverend Dr. Marlene Elizabeth Fang. I'm from Chicago. My occupation is, I don't have an occupation, okay? I just, in terms of, what do I do? I counsel people. Well, let me put it like this. The divine sends people to me when they need peace. People who are out of peace, whose spirits are out of balance, and who are battling with demons. That's what I do. So the reason.
Calling now, huh?
What'd you say?
They calling now.
Yeah. And so the reason I want to be a deaf doula is because my relationship with death is very personal. Astrologically speaking, I'm not going to get all deep, but my sign is the birth, life, birth, death, and regeneration. So death has just always been a thing for me. The most traumatic one, was my dad. But
No, don't get into that. Don't get into your stories yet.
I'm not.
Got a time
But
for that.
prior to that, I, just had a relationship with death, and I didn't understand why people had to die until I watched the Discovery Channel and saw the cycle of life, the cycle of life and death, and how everything on the planet has a purpose that's relative to life and death and recycling and being reborn. So this is just a natural phase for me. And people in grief, man, it's challenging to do that because everybody handles grief differently, and like the young lady said about celebration, I think life and death is a celebration. So that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go on because I'm sure we're going to have a lot to discuss as we move along.
Right.
But that's where I want to be, because that's in my world, and because Moot offered it. So.
All right, Dr. Tammy, you're up next.
Yes. So I am Dr. Tammy Matthews. I am a naturopathic or holistic doctor. And I am an executive life coach through Masterforce. Yeah. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll still claim Chicago though, and hope to one day have a actual home there. But when I come, I stay with my baby sister, Sally. She's so gracious. And the reason that I wanted to go through this course, actually, my baby sister, I know she wants me to stop calling her that, but I'm so used to it. she gonna always be my baby sister. One day I was driving back to Atlanta from her home, and we started talking, and she's, we're talking about passion and vision and purpose. And she told me about deaf doula. I had never heard of a deaf doula. And she said that's what she wanted to do. And she started sending me videos. And I was like, wow. So I'm traveling down the road, like watching these videos. I was like, this is a whole nother world. I said, do it. And she's like, I am, but I don't know where to start. I was like, just go online and look for something.
Right.
And so that was last year.
Oh, wow.
So, and so then when Shemsu-t put this out there, I was like, oh, it has come to us. It's time. And I had recently been asked to speak at a banquet down here to women who no longer have their mothers physically present here in Atlanta. And so, of course, I know what I know in regards to being able to have a general conversation, but I also realized that I need to refresh. I need to add more tools. I need to sharpen my tools. And Shemsu-t is my life coach. So I was like, it's time. I need more information, more food, more. So that's why I decided to be a part.
Boy, wasn't that time and something? That was something. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm a Masterforce coach too.
Yes, you are.
Woo-hoo!
We have them all over the world. Yes, all ages, sexes. All right, baby sister Sally.
Okay, yes. I'm Sally. I don't have any coaching experience or anything, but I work for U.S. Steel. I am a woman of steel. I am a steel worker. And I live in Indiana, but I was interested in becoming a deaf doula. I've watched videos while I'm at work all day, but I was on YouTube and I can't remember her name, but she talked about the death process. She respected the death process and how she goes into homes, and she works along sometimes with hospice nurses and just helping the family respect the one who is dying, bathing them. It was just grace and beauty and love, and just making sure they were secure and safe and that they knew it was okay to transition. It was just a lot of love and honor the person, honor them like a child being born into this world. We celebrate them as well on their way out, just nurturing. So I was like, I like this. And then I started watching hospice nurses and their stories. It was kind of like their interactions with those who are in hospice and passing on as well, and just I mean, more of the supernatural things that had occurred. And a lot of these stories repeat. I mean, like, I watch different hospice nurses and different death doulas, but similar patterns of people who are dying. You know, they're waiting for their loved ones, or they see their loved ones, or they're pointing up at the sky, like they can see the beauty of all that. Anyway, I love it. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Yes.
Yes, wonderful. And may we all become intrigued. And I think we will. I really think we will. This is a great group. Really great. All right, Sylvia, you're next.
Hey, I am Sylvia Seals, here from Chicago. As far as occupation, I occupy a couple places or spaces, shall I say. I'm a operations manager for an educational company, Innovative Scholars, here in Chicago, where we service private schools. I also am the co-founder of the Loop Branding Boutique, which is what you saw when I logged in. I'm always logged into our Zoom, where we service clients with their branding needs, where there's promotional items, clothing items. I'm also the owner of Naturally Me body products and accessories, where I make body butters and accessories, in which it'll be shortly transitioned to Naturally Me Wellness, given the fact that I recently became a certified Master Force Life Coach. So that will be transitioning soon. The reason I wanted to be a part of this class and become a death doula is because I really want to get to the point where I fully myself also accept the thought of death or the thought of transitioning. And my family takes death really, really hard. And I want to be able to figure out how to help my family accept death. They take it hard and it becomes like heavy. It's really emotionally heavy. The thought of it, the talk of it, if it happens, and I've become a lot better with it. But it's like, okay, I need everybody else around me to get on the same page, because at some point, y'all, mama transitioning. And right now, I'm the only one talking to mama about, hey, what's gonna happen, and and they may joke about it, but we really need to put plans in place, and you have to be prepared, because if it happens, it's just certain things that have to happen, and we just can't pass out, oh, life is over, because life isn't over.
No.
Life isn't even over for them.
Nope.
They're
Not at all.
transitioning from here.
Yes.
So it's like I really want to get to the point where I can, assist the family, assist friends in accepting this transition. And I also feel like I have different fears, and my family have different fears, and it's because of thought of death. My mom have a fear of me stepping out and traveling, but ultimately it's the fear of death. I
Yep.
feel like something's going to happen to me and you're going to lose me. But
Yep.
you have to become comfortable with the fact that that's going to happen regardless of where I'm at.
Yep.
So let's accept that and allow ourselves to live this life that we're in right now, so that when we're transitioning happy and not taking this with us our next life.
Wow. That's deep. And you know what? When you know how we did the everybody had to do pre-course work, 50% of the people here actually still are dealing with the fear of death. So it is normal. You can actually see that probably takes in encapsulate with the actual society. Probably 50% have a fear of death. right? So we're actually doing the work on their behalf as well. So that's a great thing to know, okay? All right, who's next? Dominique, Empress Shanique. Let's see, let's get you in here. Introduce yourself.
Okay, hello, ladies.
Hello.
I'm originally from Chicago, but I currently live in Atlanta. I've been out here about 9 months. I wear a few hats. Soul-wise, I'm an oracle. I do like intuitive readings, tarot readings, and I just kind of help my client in any way to create the space for them to heal themselves. And physically, I've been a professional chef for about 12 years. I'm an author, I model, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and then I have like maybe 3 food-related businesses based out of Chicago, as well as a church. And initially, when I was younger, I was interested in being a death doula because I wanted to help the souls that already transitioned to be at peace, and the ones that was in that middle phase, just to be aware of what was going on if they didn't, and just kind of help them in any way that I can to heal. A lot of times people think, when you leave, you kind of like just be like uplifted, or like certain traumas and issues. I'm sorry, y'all. This is my cat Smokey. She's trying to get in the video.
Oh, that looked like my cat Wisdom. It's Wisdom. Oh.
I'm sorry, but yeah, so initially, I just wanted to help heal in any kind of way, whether it's just helping them to transition fully or be aware, or just any kind of healing that needs to take place. But once I learned about it when I got older, I found that it's more like helping people that was in that process of transitioning to be more comfortable. And also I've been doing like, I do like holistic classes at retirement homes. And we've been kind of getting on the subject of like healing and stuff, because I have a book about like womb healing. And I kind of wanted to get more into it. I felt like it was a reason, because a lot of those people had like issues in their family, relationships with their kids and stuff that was distant, and just certain things that in that space, they just felt like they were too old to fix it, or that they were stuck in their ways and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like I should get into it to help the people that were older feel more relaxed, and just feel more, just to heal. It's never too late to heal,
Never
regardless
too late.
of what was done, and I just feel like I found that a lot of people that were older, they kind of have less hope when it comes to the different things that they did in the past and stuff like that. So I just kind of want to help whatever, any way that I can help heal, whether it's just dealing with the transition, or just them wanting to feel secure within themselves and not leave, with relationships that just wasn't fixed, or, other relatives and stuff that just, that they didn't have, relationships with and stuff like that. So
That's
any way that I can kind of help, that I'm down for it,
wonderful. And you know what? I want everyone to know. So Dominique just got in this morning. She saw Tammy's post, and she was like, I want in. And so we started chatting. I mean, you were one of my early morning chats too, weren't you?
Yep, I'm up early.
We were chatting back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is going to be a new energy today." So thank you.
Wait, did Empress say she was a serial entrepreneur?
Yes, she did.
Yes.
I think that's fabulous.
I just want to add, I am so impressed with Empress, because when she first came to me, how long ago was that, to go through the detox program?
Yep, it was some years ago.
It was some years.
Ooh.
And so she was just transitioning to become a chef, right? Or
Yep.
you were just starting that. And to
Yep.
see how she has evolved, I'm like, oh my God, I need to study.
Yes. I think that was like 10 years ago.
The young people, they look at us and they go, yeah, I like what you're doing, but we're going to do it like this. And they just speed ahead like, whoa, I love it.
Like, I need an appointment.
Right.
She in Atlanta. I'm like, wait, what? You in Atlanta?
Yes, I'm here.
I love it. I
Wow.
love it.
That's wonderful. Well, welcome to our tribe. Everyone here
Thank
is
you.
amazing. You will
Yes.
see yourself over and over again, I promise.
I'm excited.
All right, Miss Legault, it's your turn. I mean, Tanisha.
Like you love to Miss Lagomi. I'm
So I gotta tell people why I call you Miss Legault. Miss Legault, you all know my 26-year-old son Zakur. Well, she was Zakur's third grade teacher.
Right. So I've been Miss Legault for many, and she's Miss Stewart, and I can't get past Miss Stewart either. So that's what we do.
And Carmela said same, right?
Right, same here. Right. I saw, right. It's funny because when I said Carmela earlier.
Miss Legault.
Right.
When I said Carmela earlier, because you know in my mind you Miss Grady, but I'm like, I know she ain't Grady no more. Just Carmela. I gotta work through stuff.
Oh, I gotta work through stuff too, because I don't know how to call nobody by their regular name. And we're not even in school no more. So whatever.
Your son graduating from college in next
Yeah, I'm
week.
like, kids is grown and gone.
Right.
Grown and gone. Hello, everybody. So I'm Tanisha. I'm a teacher. I still teach. Now I teach at University of Chicago. And why I want to become a death doula. Interesting because when I first saw the course, I was telling my friend about it because I was like, I've never been drawn to something and scared of something at the same time. And that's kind of how I felt about seeing it. So I was like drawn to it. I think just personally, I've had just lots of experiences with death close to me recently. And all of these experiences, I definitely know there's been a reason, about these experiences and just how I've grown through these experiences. And so my purpose, I think, for joining this course, and it was so crazy because Mr. when you sent me that message, because I'm telling you, I had been in my head just like, I want to do this, but I don't, I want to, but I didn't tell her anything, I just saw her post it and I had just been in my mind. And then she sends like, hey, I'm doing this course. And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, I've been thinking about it, but I was like, you know what, so I think the reason I want to do this course is really to just embrace, and kind of embrace just my own fears and, kind of what I have wrapped up in this fear. There's a part of me that understands it logically, but there's still a part that offers so much resistance. And so to kind of unpack what this resistance is about, because like I said, I get it logically, but then, there's just the other part of it that I hold. And, so to me, this is steps on just my own evolution and, in knowing that as I grow and evolve, I can help others grow and evolve.
Yeah, and Miss Legault, you are a 9 of heart.
I know, which is like the death card, right? It's like
not quite. It's a completion card. It's like death is like any 9s are gonna have.
And that's why it's like I see it as part of my story. Like I see it as part of my story. But there's almost a part of me that doesn't want to embrace it. And I said to myself, because I was like, I want to do this course, but I don't want to call no more death towards me because I deal with so much. I just lost another,
Yeah.
And so it's like trying to just reconcile, just trying to reconcile all of that.
Wow. Well, thank you. And thank you for always taking me on.
I do. And because it's you, when someone said, because it's you, I was just like, okay, like, okay. I know.
I mean, like, if I got to do this, I'm taking everybody.
Everybody. Right. Like everybody doing it.
Everybody. Okay, Keisha, Nikki Morgan, what do you want to be called today?
Please don't get Tammy started. We already talked about that while we were bonding. Thank you. I am who you would like to address me as today.
Okay.
Keisha Nicole, aka Morgan Splendor Inc.
That's her sexy, what is it, sexologist name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me see. I am a mother, a grandmother, a a Master Force life coach. I am a film producer, oh my God, entertainment, it's all in life. Actress, film coordinator, theater producer, theater director. I'm into the arts and entertainment. And Master Force life coach is something that I have not, it seems, as far as everyone else, is something that I have not truly embraced in its fullness, and it's something that I'm working towards. But what is dominating my life currently is my motherhood and grandmothership.
Full time, I get it.
It's taking over my life. What was the other question?
How do you want to be a deaf doula?
So in 2000 and okay, I'm crying. Didn't know I was gonna do this. I was all happy and shit.
Yep. Go into the breath. Keep it going.
In 2000, oh wow, I lost. My niece died. But before she died, I was on the bus, and I was talking to another doula, and she and I were talking about something totally different, didn't have anything to do with death, but she basically said to me in conversation, don't you have some place you need to be? Your light needs to be someplace right now. And I was like, no, because I didn't tell her what was going on. She was transitioning. She died of cancer, bone cancer.
Well, don't get into your story right now.
Okay. So
okay.
So when I did that, I went there to be with her, and I learned that there is where I was there to help her. When I arrived, she transitioned. My sister died that same year.
Now don't go into your story though. You're gonna want to save that for later. You won't have nothing.
Oh shit. Okay.
Just why do you want to be a deaf doula?
Because I think I got the light to help others transition, and also to help people to help their people or their persons deal with their transition. And I want to learn how to do so formally, if you will.
Okay. Yeah. Like you're coming from a very authoritative and strong point. You're coming from strength instead of consoling. Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Moot.
Yes, very cool. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I was chatting with you early too. Took you a minute to answer.
Because okay. Like everyone else, I resisted it. You know, I didn't want to do this because for me, death is not just in one spirit transferring or transitioning from body. Death can also be in the physical as well.
Yes.
So you have to, when you separate yourself from a relationship or from a loved one, when you lose someone, that is also, for me, I see it and I equate it to a death of a loss of a loved one. So I don't want to deal with it my own self, but I do, like everyone else. But it's a difficult position to put yourself in, even though you know that you're called or you're chosen to do something. It's a difficult task to take on, because not only do you have to deal with yourself, just like with us being life coaches and everybody working with themselves and in their profession or what they've been chosen to do. It's still work within yourself. Anything that we do for others, we're ultimately doing for ourselves and
That's
selves,
right.
and we're working through it as well. So that is where I didn't want to be bothered with you, because I really wasn't talking to you. You was like, join a group. I really was not trying to be bothered with you. Actually, I was like, why is she bothering me?
After you said yes, you were like, bye. I changed my mind. I was
Yeah.
like, excuse me, hello.
If honestly, if she would have left me alone, I wouldn't be here.
Which you know I won't do.
So I apologize. Y'all
No,
know
I get it. I get it. You know, I do. And I just thank you for, because remember, I think my last comment to you was, okay, it's okay if you don't want to do it now. I got it. And then next thing you know, you're like, here's my work. Here's it. So I get it.
So I'm laughing because I'm like, I do the opposite. I always hunt you down. Like, what's your soul? What's your soul?
What you need? What you got going? Right.
That's how I met you. I'm like, I need to meet you. I need to talk. I need to talk to you. I need to meet you.
Right. That's what keeps me growing and aligned. It really keeps me aligned with the work, you know, and I'm grateful for that. So, all right, Amanda, my favorite niece on the planet.
Hello. Let's see.
Name, occupation, where you live, and why do you?
I know. Right. Like, okay. Well, I'm trying to see. Well, how can I shorten it? My occupation.
Yeah, shorten everything. Right.
Entrepreneur, entertainment, creatives, and I also life coach and slash minister. I became ordained in 2017, and part of what I do, I had someone to ask me about doing a funeral, and I was like, no, because I think my whole thing, I'm detached from death. So when my mom died,
So don't go into your story.
I'm not gonna go into the story. But when my mom died, I actually detached because that was it. And so
that's right.
Years later, it just never affected me, because to me, death is absence. And if I don't see you, to me, you're still here. And I guess being clairvoyant and all of that, I can tap into these things, but I've been having a lot of visits lately.
Wow.
And so I think it's time for me to, because people have been visiting me, and I have a friend out here as a medium as well. And so she's been trying to tell me like how to like foster all of that and do whatever. But it's very strange. So I thought being a doula, I was curious, because doula to me is birth, right? You bring in babies in. I was thinking Dr. Kevorkian, like, oh, we help people die.
Not doctor. We're not doing Dr. Kevorkian, okay?
I was like, that might be interesting. Like, we get to help people die. I mean, I got a list, but I did. But I realized, like,
that's not discourse.
However, when I started looking it up and I started seeing it, I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because I think that will help me help other people, because I'm very, I won't say insensitive, but it's hard for me to connect to people when they're going through a loss, and I'm like, I don't know what to really say. Like, okay, I'm here for you. You know, the connection is still, sometimes I feel bad for not connecting to death. Right? Yes. So I think that's where my curiosity has got me here.
Wow. Well, the last person, she won't respond to me. Mecca, where'd you go? Mecca, are you here with us? I keep trying to unmute you. There you go.
Hi.
Hey, were you taking a nap?
No, I wasn't. No, I'm Mecca, and I am transitioning as a elementary school teacher to just a master force and Reiki master teacher in itself, author, just being me. And so I wanted to take the deaf doula class. Moot asked me like last year or a couple, she was like, do you want to be a deaf doula? Because like, it was just seeming, well, since I was about 7, people, once they passed, they would come and talk to me. So my grandmother told me, don't be afraid. It was like a gift that I had. So I've always liked to like just sit with older people. I didn't know when I was a kid, I didn't know they was dying, you know, and things like that. So that's just been me, who I am. And so I like classes and certifications and stuff like that. So I like to put things under my belt and to learn more about it. So that's why I'm in a class.
Wonderful. Thank you. As you can see, we have a wide variety of people, but you can tell that we all want to serve inside of the realm of people who are dying or have died. And just so we're clear, the word doula means women who serve, right? Women who serve. It can mean people who serve, since we are correcting our gender differences these days. So when when we're talking about serving, you can serve in any capacity. So as a birth doula, we know that that's bringing children into the world. And death doula, that means that we're actually having people or assisting people in exiting from the world. But not only are we working with the people, we're working with the souls. Who was that said, was it Dominique, who transitioned on the other side? Because we call them our ancestors, but they really are still connected to us. They really are a part of our life. And we want to create a arena where the people who are releasing others, where they can become more peaceful at an earlier stage, because when they can do that, they open up their sensitivity. And Alanda, that's so crucial what you said, because when your mother died and you shut that down, you're really a very sensitive person. But because you closed yourself off like that, you created a superficial wall to protect yourself, because that hurt. It hurts when we lose people that we love. It hurt. And so what do? We say, I don't want to feel that again. And we shut it off as best we can. But when we shut those feelings down, we also shut off our connection. We shut off our connection to those people, okay? So we want to make sure that we actually have the capacity to support others in moving through this process, all right? We want to just support them in moving through this process. But first, we have to deal with where that pain is in ourselves, okay? So, wait a minute, I haven't asked y'all for no numbers yet. What, y'all rushing me? Wow, I can't believe it.
No, Move, that was me. I'm sorry. I was saying that to
No,
Empress.
it wasn't you. It was.
Yes, it was. I said that to Empress because I thought she said, she was like, bye, I'm leaving. So then I said, before you leave, pick a number. 1 through 7, because you said that to the other person. I apologize.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move along. So let's pick a number. So let's. No, you can't do it like that. You can't do it like that. That's why I was saying. Okay, so who was that? So Empress, you're leaving. Give me a number between 1 and 7. Is she still here?
No, she's gone.
What did she give you? What did she give you? What
she didn't give me the number. She was gone before I said it.
I saw a number come through. I think, is it a chat? Can you all look at the chat and see if it's
So the
two?
numbers came through because others responded. They didn't realize that Mecca was referencing or speaking to Empress when she said,
Yeah, I was supposed
Yeah,
to
what's
hit
the number
directly
in the
to her.
chat though? Can you see it?
Get
yes.
3 for Keisha and
Nicole
2 for
Morgan
Wait.
said,
No, I just want Empress.
Empress didn't say anything.
She's Shanika. I thought I saw Shanika, Shanique. No? Okay.
Oh, she
no,
was saying
unless
goodbye.
it came directly to you, it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll look after this. Okay. So we're going to go down the line. Sylvia, since you're there, what's your number between 1 and 7? 2. Okay. Mecca.
7.
7. Okay. Marlene.
3.
Okay. Miss Legault. Between 1 and 7. I mean, Tanisha.
Oh, sorry, 2.
Okay. Okay, who's next? Dr. Tammy?
3.
Okay, Sally?
4.
4. Okay, Teresa's not here. All right, who am I missing? Let's see.
Carmela, 1.
Carmela, okay, 1. Okay. She's not here. Somebody, Tammy, pick a number for Dominique.
Dominique, 1.
That's taken.
Oh, a number that's not taken?
Yep. Well, all of them's taken, but
I was gonna say.
that one's double
5.
taken.
Oh, it's double taken. Okay, I got you. Okay. Let's see. Let's do Dominique.
Do
Let's
5.
do 6.
6, okay. Dominique. Okay. Nicole. 1, pick a number. Nicole,
7.
keep 7, okay. All right, and who else? Have one more?
Because I can't pick 3, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, do I have everybody? So Alanda, do I have you?
No, I don't think so. I
Okay.
had picked 5.
Okay, cool. All right. So I think that's everybody. Okay, so here's how the buddies look. Okay, the buddies, Shalonda and Carmela. Why did we know that was gonna happen? Do y'all hear me? Shalonda and Carmela, Sylvia and Tanisha, Marlene, the 2 doctors, Dr. Marlene and Dr. Tammy. Brandy and Sally, and Brandy's not here today, Sally, and I think you guys are going to be playing tag team in this class, like one here, not here. So you're here today, and she's not here because she's working, okay? Alanda, you and Teresa are buddies. I think that's great. And then Dominique and Francis, and both of them just came in this morning, so I think that's pretty cool. And then Mecca, you and Keisha. All right. And
Yay.
yay. So real quick, I want to understand, and I didn't put this in my notes, but I want to put it in my notes. I want to get your cards. So I know Shalonda's an ace of spades. Carmela, what are you? Queen of heart? Is she still there?
I'm a 9 of heart move.
Yeah, I'm a queen. Yep, I'm a queen.
Okay, 9 of heart. Marlene, stop going out of turn. This is kindergarten stuff.
Sorry. Apologize.
Miss Rita.
Sylvia, what are you? To a club. Okay, Miss Legault, you are a 9 of heart. You can tell who I talk to the most. Tammy is a 10 of club. Sally, do you know your card? Tammy, do you know your sister's card?
I'm gonna go look right now.
I got the book
Okay.
right here. Just tell me her
I was about
birthday.
to say I got the book
Oh, it's
right by
May
me.
29.
Okay. You looking it up, Dr. Payne?
No, ma'am, I
Okay,
didn't.
I got it. Yep. 3 of clubs, Sally.
Oh, okay.
3 of club. Alanda, 2 of spade. Teresa is a 6 of club. I don't know Francis and Dominique. Mecca is a 5 of diamond. Keisha, what?
And I'm a queen, baby. I'm a queen.
A queen of diamond.
Hello.
Queen of diamond. You act like a 5 of diamond. I say that all
I
the
gotta
time.
look that
You
up.
don't know.
I gotta look that up then.
No. Keisha, what are you, Keisha? Keisha, you know your card? If you tell me your birthday.
You muted, babe.
I'm what you are, mute. I don't remember. I think it's a 10 something. I'm not sure.
No, I'm a queen of spades. Very few
So,
people are. When's your
okay.
birthday? Just tell me your birthday.
March 15th.
Yeah. March 15th.
I thought we were the same.
8 of diamond move.
8 of diamond. No, you're my karma card. That means you owe me something.
My life.
So we'll find out, Francis and Dominique, but this will be a good part of our research, don't you think? As we go through.
Yeah.
Okay, we just have a few more things to do.
What was Keisha? Nicole.
Keisha is an 8 of diamond.
Oh, cool. I love diamond girls.
Yeah, 8 of diamond. Yeah. Okay, we have a couple of diamonds. Both of you are diamond. Okay, very cool. Okay, so now you get to tell your story, right? Now we want to hear your experience. We want to know, when did you first experience death? Or what has been your worst experience about death? And who taught you how to respond to death? Now, here's the thing. I want you to do this conversation in less than 3 minutes, because being concise is going to be so crucial for when you're talking to people. Because a lot of times when people are dealing with overwhelm, they do not want a lot of conversation. They actually want to talk. Okay, so you want to be as concise, right? So you can either do all 3 of those if you can speak real short, or pick one. When did you first experience death? What has been your worst experience? And who taught you how to respond to death? Raise your hand to go when you want to go. You know how to raise your hand down in the reaction. You click on reactions and then you choose raise your hand at the bottom. All right, we're gonna go with you, Carmela.
That was an old hand raise.
Her hand never lowered.
But right, but since I'm first,
Okay.
I would say, I mean, I've experienced death, several times, but I think when I really experienced it was with my grandmother, my father's mother. She had cancer. She was in a hospital, and I literally just left the hospital when she passed, but I had been there, with her, like several days, just there with her, listening to her breathe, just holding her hand and telling her that I love her. And literally, like, when I left and I was almost home, my cousin called to tell me that she had just passed away. And I was hurt, but I actually did not cry in that moment, because I knew that I had been there and I had told her, that I loved her, that I would miss her. And, just reminisce about things that, had taken place, throughout the years with her. So that was like really my first experience. My worst experience was watching my mom watch her grandmother die, which was the mother that raised her, because her mother died when she was very young. So that was just the worst experience, just watching my mom go through that and watching how my mom took care of my grandmother, moved her in, just took care of everything for her. And, just watching my mom go through that. I don't believe that anyone necessarily taught me how to deal with death. I think, Miss Rita, you just mentioned, like, when people are dealing with that, they don't really want to talk. And I think that's where I find myself not really having things to say, because I don't want to necessarily have the conversation, but I'm okay with listening to them when they bring the conversation to me, just listening to them and helping them process it and getting through it, because sometimes they just need to get things off of their chest and off of their mind, just so that it can be free and just out there. So I think that's also something that's why I struggle with, I want to say something, but I don't want to say something because I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I know they're already struggling with something. Yep. But I just make myself available to them if they want to have the conversation. So I haven't had any bad experiences.
Cool. Okay, Sally?
Oops. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little choppy. What is that?
I'm probably my earbuds. Can you hear me better?
No, it was better earlier, but now it's fuzzy.
Oh, okay. No good. No good.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like it's
buzzing
with the computer or whatever. Like there's some
static. It's staticky.
Going on.
I'm having a whole
Well, we can hear you. That's better. That's better.
Oh, yeah, better. Okay.
That's good.
Because now I can barely. Well, I'll figure it out. I just wanted to comment on who taught. I'm sorry, the last question.
Who taught you how to respond to death?
Mm-hmm. Right. Nobody prepares you. Someone passed away that you love, and then you go to the funeral, and then you go home, and then nobody talks about it. I don't think I've had an experience where everybody just sat around and like reminisced, and well, maybe with my Aunt Sally. That was devastating for me. But nobody taught me how to grieve death.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Right? Okay. Thank you. All right, Mecca.
All right. So when I was 7, my grandmother told me that I had a gift that it runs on my side as well as, her side as well as my grandfather's side. And it was different people that talked about, they didn't talk about it, or they think that the person is crazy, like my grandfather's sister. So anyway, she was like, yeah, I know you have the gift. People are going to come and talk to you. Probably maybe when you're in your sleep after they pass. She said, don't be afraid. Listen to what they say. They just have a message for you to give to somebody else. So I'm like 7 years old, standing at the end of her bed, like, okay. Well, I'm glad that you're saying these things, because it's like things were coming to me in my dreams or whatever. So being raised as a Christian, they never tapped or allowed me to tap into it. I really forgot all about it. And then when I got I could just always know if somebody died, especially if they were close to me, they were coming to talk to me. So I used to be afraid as a child. I would always want somebody to sleep with me. And I'm literally, I was in my 20s when my best friend died, and I'm I know she's coming. So I had all my kids in the bed with me and everything, because I used to be kind of scared about it. But now I just I've kind of embraced who I am. I'm going through this big evolution and transition just within myself. So now it's the last experience that I had with it, I found my sister. I didn't know her. And her mom was sick at that time. She said that when she was praying while she was sick, she was in a coma, and she was saying, listen, I just want she was telling God she didn't want to pass until Mecca found her. Well, till her daughter found Mecca, which is me. And so I sat with her and I talked with her and I helped her transition. She was really sick. And I just felt like this is a life path that I really need to go on. So I look at death totally different than my family. I didn't like going to funerals when I was little because people would clown. And also it felt like a fear, but it also felt like this person is not there. They're no longer in that shell. I don't have to go to this funeral to connect with them or talk to them. So that part of it just really got on my nerves. So I don't really go to funerals, but I do the other side, if that makes sense.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. It all makes sense. So that's cool. All right, Ms. Legault, let's go.
So my I don't remember the earliest, but I've had a lot of deaths. Kind of growing up. The worst experience was my husband passing. This was 2018. And it was the worst because it was the worst because of who it was. I also think that he was the person that taught me how to grieve. And so his story was he had a whole lot of loss, and he lost both parents, so I watched him lose. He was 10 kids, and by the time there's 4 of them now, so he's lost parents, he's lost siblings, and so I learned from him how to grieve. I learned how he how with his mom, with his sister, with his brothers, like he kept them alive through him. He cooked in the name of, he cooked his mother's favorite foods, it's kind of like he knew how to tap into just the spirits of all those people. So through our marriage, I watched that, and that was something that I didn't have growing up, because my family, someone passed, you went to the funeral, and that was it. You didn't talk about it anymore. And I didn't really, so it was interesting because, like I say, it was the worst experience, but he taught me how. And so I definitely feel like since he's been gone, I've just been kind of operating in that space, with him, with dealing with the grief, my own grief, as long as my son's grief, the family as well. And and it's a learning experience overall.
Definitely. Thank you, Ms. Legault. All right, Amanda.
Marlene is next.
I want Marlene to go last.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'll talk. Anyway, well, I think what was the last one? Like, what did it teach me?
Who taught you how to respond to death?
Okay, so the family taught me how to respond to death in a way that it was indirectly teaching me. I disliked funerals, just like Mecca was saying. I don't like going to a funeral. I don't want to see the people like that. I never went to this. I don't like cemeteries because to me that's final. I think that's what bothered me about my mother, because I didn't go to the actual cemetery. I didn't want to go. But I think I probably would have cracked. I probably would have broke down if I saw them put her actual body in the ground. But what taught me, the family indirectly taught me that money and death, right? So when people die, it was always a conversation of money. And what it did with me, I detached myself because I realized that if I die, I don't want none of these people I don't want to leave nothing for them. They look what they do. It's almost as if they want to benefit from my death. So why would I want to be around these people? when I die, I don't want them putting their hands on nothing of mine. I don't want them monopolizing my kids, doing all type of things, because actually the experience to me, I was talking to my friend yesterday, the experience to me when mommy died was I was money. That's the only reason why I was supposed to be with you, right? My mother made it clearer that who she wanted me to be raised by. And to me, I saw it that I was a way to get money. And so death and money to me is that conversation that made me shut down, especially with the wealth conversation. So to me, I never wanted to be that person that if somebody died, I want to benefit from their money. I want to use their money. And I think that's the money conversation also that translated into my resistance to wealth, because constantly everybody that died in our family, there was money involved. There was people fighting over possessions. Didn't make any sense to me. And that was one of those things that got me like to shut down too. It wasn't just because of my mother. I just started seeing the whole pattern. And so my way of dealing with when funerals and things, when I did have to go, I did comedy. I mean, I would sit in the back and just crack jokes and laugh at people and make something focal point, and I would create something comical, because sometimes it was comical, right?
Right.
So that to me, no one really taught me how to respond, but indirectly the family taught me how to respond with
Just by watching.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes. So that was it.
Yeah.
To me, that was just and I was told when my mother died that I could not like really grieve because mama, my grandmother, she lost a daughter. So it was more important for her mourning than mine, because this is her second child she lost. So my mourning wasn't really taken into, like, except for you, like I talked to you, me and you talked about mommy a lot. But everybody else, my grandmother, Vertilla, told and said, like, well, her just lost her daughter. Like, you have to understand, like, she's going through something. I'm like,
right. But we're gonna deal with more of that in the next, because that was deep when I read that. Yeah.
Yep. So that taught me how to not be.
And we learned just by observation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dr. Tammy. Yeah. I know you gotta go, so give it to us in your sweet, short, quick way.
Oh, okay. So my first experience with death probably was, my grandmother, my mother's mother. We were young, and we didn't understand really what that meant. We just knew we weren't going to see her. But because she lived in Mississippi, we lived in Illinois, I didn't see her that often anyway. So I don't think there was an attachment where there was like this hole in my life. It wasn't until I lost a very close friend of mine. I don't like to say lost, but when she transitioned, she was diagnosed with cancer, and it was someone that I talked to every day. And actually that started my transition in learning more about holistic health and my pursuit for truth, to get information about death. I wasn't prepared until I actually started, went through Master Force, the life coaching certification program. And also after that, I went through Akashic record reading program to learn more about souls and our ancestors, our masters, teachers, levels. So I've been studying, as well as, of course, talking to the Creator, just asking the Creator to lead me to truth, which is how I was led, of course, to Master Force, to you, and just overall in my meditation prayer time, just asking Source to reveal to me so that I may be able to support my clients. That's really my foundation, and realizing that I need more information after COVID and all of that. I need more fuel to be able to support. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Thank you. And thank you for being here. And I know you have a client, and thank you for bringing us Francis and Dominique and somebody else you brought us this morning, Carmela.
Yeah, well, you have one more in the inbox, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. My BFF is Marlene. Don't you go anywhere. My BFF going next. I'm getting the people who got schedules.
Thank you. See you later, Sally. I'll call you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Marlene. Sorry, baby. I can't hear your story. We'll talk.
No, you're gonna get the video. We're gonna put the video.
Oh, good. Yes. Okay.
We'll get the recording.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc. See you later. We'll talk.
Okay.
All right, my journey started with my maternal grandmother, who I was her homie as a little girl all the way up until a young woman, and that's when I first had my first inclination with that, or the transitioning of soul. Honestly, it was upsetting, but she had dementia, so that was a progression along that. And I knew that time was coming, so we had time to get right with that. But after the fact, in the grieving moment, she would talk to me so much that it was just like she was still here. I could still hear her, feel her, and that helped me. I think me more than anyone, and I was able to help my mother, assist my mother in that grieving. Support. That was my first experience, and then from there, I really didn't have a lot of death around me, whether it's in my family on my dad's side or mom's side, my grandmother, and then not up until just recently. And by going through Master Force, I think that has helped me in so much in learning how to breathe and understanding the universe and that we just transition and where the soul goes and, reincarnation and all of that. So, and I owe that to Ruth helping me to, be able to, or help me guide those feelings into more positiveness. And then I guess from there, being the chaplain here, it's just, the death is just all around. I have families here that, that in some way this COVID has affected them, and just being able to, touch on them and provide support for them has been, it's all a lesson, all my teaching. So
Wow.
That's kind of where my history goes, or where my journey has led me to.
That is powerful. I thought about that the other day about you being a chaplain. I was listening to something and I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's a chaplain. Like those Master Force coaches. Where did Mama Marlene go? You better not go. Where'd she go? Oh, there you go. Okay, let's go, Mama Marlene. Let's go, go, go.
Okay. What the question was? No. Okay.
The question is, when did you first experience death?
Okay.
What has been your worst experience, and who taught you how to respond to death?
Okay, when I first experienced death, because I really didn't remember how to think about it, but we was having services for my stepmother because she died in the bed next to my daddy. So while we was at her services, my favorite Uncle Bill, he was an epileptic, he died. So that was the first thing, like we was really cool. But traumatic wise, experience, of course, was my father. I was living in California, short version, and my daddy had just left me the week before. I got a call that I had to go because he had been murdered. So his best friend shot him. So I got home, and so that was that. We went through all that. We'll get into all that later on. But anyway, we get to the funeral, and it's time to close the casket. I didn't want the casket closed. Me and my auntie had a roar in front of everybody. And I stormed out the thing. And when I went out into the lobby, my daddy's I don't want to do this, but anyway.
Now you see how long you've been holding this? You got to do this now, Mom.
No, I ain't been holding it. It's just the memory, man.
But there's something attached to it that emotion is there.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. So I just want to keep it.
I'm cool. I'm cool about it. It's just, it's just gonna come up and I have to deal with it. So anyway, I walked into the lobby and my daddy's business partner is sitting there in the chair. So I go sit on Howard's lap at 22 years old. And he say, who is this? I said, this is Marlene, Howard. He said, oh, baby, I'm blind. I can't see you. And then I broke down, because he was like my daddy's buddy. And so that in terms of grief, I sort of feel like Alonda, everybody, I don't go to funerals. I don't do them because I prefer to see people the way I know them to be, however I can deal with it. In terms of people. So nobody taught me how to deal with grief. And quite frankly, I can't say that it's really grief for me, but we'll get into that later as well. So the other thing is like when people are grieving, I say to them briefly, especially if I'm there, is that, is your preference that whomever that person is suffers or that they be at peace? And if you prefer peace, then that's where they are. And to celebrate their life, not to agonize over the fact that they've departed this body because they've transitioned to another one. But you can't get into all that because people don't understand all that. So that is how I deal with grief. I just let it be pretty much, But that one, my dad was really traumatic, and most recently was my brother last year, which was totally unexpected and totally messed me up. So there you have it.
All right, Mama, and we'll work some more with that because in this course, you're going to learn that grief is not the work that we do as doulas.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's okay that, because I'm not miserable. I don't be grieving.
No. But I'm saying because our work is transformational, right? We know that grief affects the lungs, and it means not taking in all of life. If we're talking about transitioning, that means that we're trusting that God or the creator, the universe, knows what it's doing. So we don't want to work against that energy. If you're working against that energy, saying, I'm going to feel sad because this person is gone, then you're not allowing life to actually go through you. And then you're also blocking the communication that you have. My sister is sitting over here with us right now. Okay, she's learning from this. People on the other side sit and learn from us. That's why they say that our ancestors from 7 years back learn from what we do. They benefit from us. So if we keep doing the same pattern that our parents did and our grandparents did out of honor, that's not honor. That's what kills us. Traditions can literally stifle our growth. Soul food has killed us for years, and we still think we're supposed to be committed to it. You understand? So we have to be willing, right? So we have to be willing to redress that.
Right. Plus, you got to be willing to die to self. Because I've died so many times in various and sundry ways, I don't even care about it. We friends. So it's all gravy. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about us. I'm excited. I'm sorry.
It's all good. And we have one more, guys, and let me say thank you for allowing me the extra time, with the little snafu in the middle and all of that. But we knew that today was going to be about us, like really getting context and learning from each other. Okay, Sylvia gets to go last because she thought that she had a choice, or didn't have a choice, or whatever she said.
I knew you said to raise your hand, but I thought that we was gonna get called regardless. I didn't have a choice.
No, listen. We're all adults here, so it's like raise your hand if you want to share. I mean, everybody don't want to share. I get it. So I'm not gonna force you.
And it's not much. I just really wanted to thank everybody for sharing because it helped recall different memories that I have. Like even in submitting the form, what I submitted is less than what I'm recalling now. So I'm just really grateful for everyone sharing. And like Sally said, and I think Marlene just said, I wasn't taught to grieve. I just saw what my family did and followed course. And listening to everyone now, I remember like my grandfather was the first one, and I remember being at home and my mom getting a call and my mom breaking down because her dad has died. So that's from there, it's, oh, you get emotional because they're gone and nobody talks about what it really means besides, oh, they're not here anymore. You won't see them anymore. And they make it so sad, and it doesn't have to be sad, but that's what I like recall, and what I've been taught is to be sad.
Right, right. That is really, that we're going to work a lot with that. So in this class, you don't have to talk, right? You talk, the way that I know that you want to participate is when you raise your hand. So that's what I said. I said, raise your hand, the reaction. And Sylvia, I'm not talking to you now. I'm talking to Keisha. Okay, so Keisha's like, I don't want to talk now. Okay, well, you don't have to. Nobody's getting points, right? No, you're not getting points taken away from you either, right? So, and then I want to tell you that when I actually look back over my life, a lot of you have shared some of my experience, but the one experience that probably was my initiation into being a coach and a deaf doula was when I was 11. And I think it was the year that Alanda was born. And my first cousin, Jimmy, Jimmy was, I think, 10 years older than me, or 9, he might have been 9 years older than me. But anyway, his best friend shot him in the head. And they were part of the street gang, the Blackstone Rangers. And so I knew that Jimmy didn't die. He went to the hospital. And while he was in the hospital, some woman was able to go in there and say that she was his wife. And she then took the oxygen mask off of him. And that is what killed him, right? And you didn't know that story, did you, Alanda? Right. And her name happened to be Rita. It was one of the other guy's girlfriends, right? So anyway, at the funeral, and I'm the youngest in the family at this time. At the funeral, how the family sits on the front, but we had to march in through the whole main 21. So we talking about men, Blackstone Rangers lined up on each side, all with black jackets, red berets with the black, and they all, and I remember, I wrote a poem about it. It's like walking through, this tunnel of black men. And for a child, it was like, what is this, right? And you feel a certain way because there was energy there, now that I know that. And then sit down, and after all the family and everybody is seated, each one of these men went through and kissed my cousin on the lips. And adults, talk about being insensitive and having a child. See there, Marlene? That's still there with me because I rarely talk about that, right? To have a child sit and watch as these people kiss him. And Jimmy was my favorite in the family. After my mom was put in a mental institution, he became my protector. So I kind of felt a deep loss of security, right? And, but again, Alanda, everybody was like, that was auntie's, that was her issue. So everybody rallied around his mother and nobody dealt with the children. So that became my way because Jimmy was my guardian for the rest of my life after that. Every time I went someplace, Jimmy was right there. As a matter of fact, just a couple of years ago, Teresa Lugo said that this guy, and what he told me, he said, you have this tall, dark man walking with you. You know, we in Puerto Rico, and he want to know who is this man walking. I'm like, what? He said she don't wear no amulets, no none, you know. Jimmy walked with me, you know. So that was my initiation, to the point that a few years ago, I was on 79th Street. You know how you got to make that turn to get on the Dan Ryan? I saw a car drive up, shoot a guy that was pumping gas, and then drive off. When the light changed, I pulled into the gas station, and I went and held that baby's hand until he took his last breath. I didn't know him, but my spirit told me to hold him. My spirit told me to hold him. And I don't even know, you know, I should have been scared, right? 79th Street, Chicago, and it was nighttime. And, you know, and I did that. And then I got back, I prayed with him, and I sat with him, you know, until I didn't want to deal with the police. So when I heard them coming, you know, I went on and got my car. But I learned in that space that made a difference for that person and myself. And when I started looking years ago into death doulas, it wasn't going on. People just started now, you know. I'm like, oh, we can do this. Look at us still asking for permission, right? So that's why we created this particular class. So I want you all to know that inside of this work, we actually get to do the work for ourselves, but we get to do the work for the people we've released, right? And your work this week, we're calling it self-love task, okay? Your self-love task for this week is to create a sacred space. It could be the corner of a room. It could be a room. It could be a closet. But have this be a space that you can sit in. You can sit on the floor. You can lay, however you use that space. Let it be a space where you can go and commune. What we're doing with this is we're creating an energy for ourselves. We want to move into the level of sensitivity, spiritual purification, Alanda, that wall that we put up to not feel. We're going to be releasing that, because most of us are empaths. We feel anyway. But because we've been hurt, we tend to think we're not supposed to feel anymore. But the thing is, when you are a sensitive person, you're the person that can make a difference in the world. A hard-hearted person cannot make a difference. They'll hurt more people. So we want to actually, you know, teach ourselves how to be soft, but use our breath as our shield. That's why that breathing becomes so important. And next week, we'll be doing some alternate nostril breathing. We're going to do different types of breathing every single time, because we're going to use our breath to build up our stamina. So you're going to create a sacred space. And if you choose to start building an altar, if you don't have one. If you already have an altar, then add something for being a death doula, or add a piece on your altar to energize yourself as a death doula. And I'm going to be posting inside the group a video about building an altar for beginners and all of that. I want you to journal your insights from today, and then also anything that comes up from this week. Marlene, I would like you to spend some time writing about that conversation that you just had about seeing your dad's business partner. I want you to write that out. Write it out. Alanda, I want you to do the same thing. And I'm going to do the same thing too. Okay.
You want me to write it out
in
from
your journal? In your journal, that experience that caused you to break down, I want you to be in that space with it. I want you to write it out. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write that out. Sylvia, I think that you need to do the same thing, because it sounds like there's some other pieces you haven't released yet. So, do that. And I'm not sure what that is. I think Miss Legault, you were good. Sally, you were good. Shalonda was good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, but for the rest of you, I want you to journal your insights from today and then anything up. I'm asking you to spend at least 15 minutes this week between now and the class with your buddy. Okay, and I'll post the buddy connections in the group. For those who are not here, we want to take care of them, make sure that they see the recording when it gets there. The 2 books, and I'll post this in the group too, that you need to have, if you don't have them, is Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz. If you've read it, please revisit it. Your Soul's Plan. It makes a big difference when you're working with people through the recapitulation process, and we'll talk more about that in our 3rd session. When you're working with people in that process, having an idea of their soul's plan, and you'll be able to get that, because most of us will become more inside of our mediumship through this class. That's why all of you already have clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. All of you, many of you are already there. I think Dominique was like, I got all of them. I bet every one of us have all of them.
Yeah, I felt like I had them.
Yeah, but we tend to shield them because in our childhood, for some reason, it's like, don't do this, don't talk, So I want you to spend time with your buddy and begin talking about some of those things too. So the book is Your Soul's Plan. And then the second one, Messengers from the Masters. Messengers from the Masters. And that's by Dr. Brian Weiss. Okay. A lot of times.
I'm sorry, are you saying messenger or messengers?
Messages. Thank you, love. Messengers. I did say messenger because that's what I wrote, but messengers. See, that's what I love. I love that. Messages from the Masters. Brian Weiss. Both of these books will begin to really allow us to open up inside of that mediumship piece. And I don't even like that they call mediumship. Being sensitive to other people's feelings is, it's just part of our connection. We're all connected. Right? I Miss Legault, I just tell Miss Legault, yeah, your husband told me, because he talks to me. Miss Legault was like, I know.
I already know. He talked to everybody.
Right. He just he be busy. Listen, last Monday, and it's like, she's a good friend of mine, and I feel bad saying she's a good friend of mine, and I hadn't talked to her in over a year, but she died. But a week before I knew she died, I asked my brother about her, and that's who I would ask about because I had introduced them about 6 years ago, and they became business partners. So I just asked him about her and think that's okay, and see her on Facebook. And then recently I hadn't seen her on Facebook, and I asked him about her, and he's like, well, when I come to Chicago, I'll tell you. And then the next thing you know, he calls and said, oh, she died. And I'm like, she died? And I had the reaction that I had was not from her death, but from, I thought of her children. She was that mother. And I was like, oh my God, Macon and King, oh my goodness. And I felt for them right away. And right away, she started talking to me. And I said, okay. And so then he calls, he said, well, I'm coming to Chicago. We're going to go to the memorial and all that. And that's when my spirit said, you need to do the deaf doula course now. Like in slow motion. I'm like, okay. So that's how this course was like, because Mecca already told you, I've been talking about it for at least a year, might have been longer, but I've been knowing for a couple of years that we needed this when COVID started, right? But I also thought about it when they were shooting our brothers in the street every other day, right? Okay, so that's enough, guys. Thank you. I love you. I intend that this was worth your time, and
Absolutely.
yeah, make
Well,
it.
anytime I spend time with you, baby, it's worth my time. I just want you to know.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so
It's
much.
definitely been worth it. Definitely.
Yeah. Short version though, it's amazing how our lives intersect because you walked through the main 21 as a child. And when I was in the tribe, they put me out. So I had to go strive again. And I was sitting in the middle circle, main 21 around me. I was the only sister there, the only mobilist in the middle of the thing. And it was General Wadu. He kept looking at me because I was about to go off on them brothers. I didn't care what they was doing. How dare you? So yeah, it was just interesting that you said that. I had no idea. Amazing.
Yeah, small world, but I'm telling you, tribe, tribe it is.
Right, it is, man. I love y'all. Have
All
a
right.
Right, ladies.
All right, I love you guys, and I'll post everything in the group. And don't forget, I post the videos and something else too. All right, guys. The book. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm getting ready to go to the party.
Thank you.
Love
Love
y'all.
you. All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yay.
Bye, y'all.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Miss Nicole. Bye,
See you
y'all.
later.